Okay, well, we are live, so let's jump straight into it. Hello, everyone, to the millions of people watching our very first live stream. My name is Harrison, and I'm joined by Andrew. We are the co-founders of Recruitcha, and today we're going to be talking about winning the war for talent. We're going to be talking about how to compete for elite engineers and how to differentiate yourself in the market. So, with that said, I'm going to hand over to Andrew, and thank you so much for joining us.
Fantastic. Glad to be here. Let's dive into it. So everybody's excited, obviously in the early stage, early stage VC backed, everybody's exciting. You have everything going for you. You have this big idea and suddenly you realize that you need to start growing out the team, right? And one of the biggest things that ultimately comes with that is how do you find the right people to join your team and what does that look like? And so the reality of early stage hiring is you are competing with every single quarter. YC is coming out with 100 plus companies. You're competing with upmarket against the 300K offers for individuals that are coming, that are currently working at FANG or looking to go into FANG type companies. And, at the end of the day, when you look at all the VC funded companies in the Bay Area in New York, you're competing with, 500 plus startups that are near identical in terms of comp and risk profiles. So really, how do you win? How do you stand out? That's what our goal is to walk you as founders to get you a good understanding of how you can stand out. Being an early stage startup is not a weakness. You just need to know how to appeal to the core desires of the engineers that you're trying to attract to your organization. Right, Harrison?
Yeah, 100%. And this is something that we're going to be talking about in the following slides. And if you understand how to appeal to the person that you're talking to, you'll be able to join your startup. It's the same kind of concept when you spoke to investors raising money for your venture. So, and let's dive into the first one.
Yeah. So what exactly do early stage engineers actually want? Realistically, the individuals that are keen to join an early stage startup, they're not looking to maximize cash comp today. They're certainly not looking for work-life balance or safety and or any type of structure or process. What they are optimizing for, right, is they're looking to join an adventure. They're looking for a meaningful mission and a big vision that they can build something that's going to change the world. They're looking for life-changing equity. Obviously, if they were to join a FANG type organization or any type of established company, they're just going to be able to collect their RSUs on a quarterly basis and continually grow their wealth. That's not what they're looking for. They want that 100x type payout opportunity, and you need to be able to sell the potential of what that looks like. They're absolutely looking for founder level autonomy, ownership, and speed to be able to, build at the pace that they want to be expediting. Obviously, larger type organizations, there's going to be a lot more red tape and a lot more approvals and whatnot before shipping code.
Yeah, 100%. And for any of the founders who are watching this, what you want to think about is widening the gap between what we just spoke about, adventure, life-changing equity, the potential for wealth creation, and what they currently have at probably some big tech job where it's just the same mundane thing every day. There are these massive teams that are sitting in a cubicle, they're shipping really slowly. If you can create this big divide and then be the bridge for them to go from where they are to where they want to be, that's going to be a really compelling argument for why they should join your startup as opposed to another one.
Absolutely. As we already touched on, they're risk takers. The biggest thing for you to appeal to is, like we said, they want that 100x type of a return. They're looking for something that's, the story, right, of joining Facebook when they were 10, 7, 8, 9 employees. That's the type of return that they're looking for. And obviously there's very few, Facebook that become Meta. But there are a ton of really great companies that early stage startup engineers want to be joining. And so you just need to be able to paint that picture for them. Harrison?
Yeah, so let's talk about the next one. So first we covered adventure. Now let's talk about another thing, which is wealth creation. The potential upside if you join a startup and it goes well is huge. And this is one of the key points that you need to be ready to counter when someone comes to you and they say, okay, but if I go to Facebook or Apple, they're going to pay me so much more. And so the way that you can counter this, which is something that we get a lot from founders, to say okay, but how can I compete with FANG? FANG can pay 3 times as much as I can. So this is what you can say. You can start by talking about the sense of purpose that they're going to have in their work. You can talk about them, working with you every day on something that's meaningful. the ownership and autonomy that they're going to have. They're not going to be in some big team with no ownership where they have to go through 5 different loops just to get anything to prod. With you, they're going to have ownership. They're going to take a feature from ideation, build it, and launch it, maybe all in one day. So that kind of autonomy is something that you can lean into to help someone decide, like, hey, this is a company I really want to work with. And then the last one is personal growth. So, if you're in a big company, maybe there's growth in terms of like engineering standards, like slow, methodical, super high, quality and assurance processes. But in a startup, you get so much growth because you're wearing so many hats. You're getting to touch on, ideation, as we said, maybe a little bit of design, actual building, front end, back end, infra. All these different things is going to contribute to the personal growth and the professional growth. So emphasizing the equity potential that that your startup can offer to someone can be one way to help someone make the choice. And the last thing to know is have the confidence that if they're speaking to you, it's because they want to change. They're clearly not happy in their current job and they're looking for something new. So lean into that and know that they're talking to you for a reason. Cool. Go for it, Andy.
Yeah, the pitching adventure. I mean, like think about it like this, right? We've already talked about, they're not looking for comfort in any sense of the imagination. They want to go on a roller coaster ride that is an exciting early stage startup and to be able to get through to the end and tell a great story about it, right? How can you as a founder be able to paint that picture for them? Start with highlighting what you believe in. Why are you building this? What are you trying to accomplish? What are the users that you're trying to reach to? And being able to highlight all these things so that they can, your goal is to convince them to understand why you're building this and why you are changing the world by whatever it is that you're building. And so if you can paint that vision for them, that's really what you want to be talking about. You don't want to be talking about, your personal, what you've done in the past. You don't want to be talking about, how great your investors are. Certainly having great investors is a strong sign, but that's not going to be the reason that they ultimately join your organization. They're going to be joining the organization because they believe in you, right? They believe in what you're pitching and what going to be able to build as a team. And they're going to say, hey, this is the person that I want to back and build something great alongside them.
Yeah, 100%. So, let's talk about the next one, which is pitching ownership. So this is something I kind of touched on already, but think about a day in the life at Fang, or maybe you're a founder who's watching this and you've already been in one of these big companies. You've got no autonomy or ownership. There's constantly people micromanaging you. There's a million processes and meetings. If you're a real engineer, you know that you just want to build. You want to be left alone. No meetings, just let me do my thing. Let me hone my craft. And siloed growth and shipping speed, something that I kind of spoke about earlier, versus your company. So again, creating that big division between where they are currently and like letting them understand that that's not what they want. That's why they're talking to you, and where they can be if they join you. So high autonomy and ownership, embarking on this exciting mission, shipping daily, working closely with the founders, expansive and diverse of growth, not only personally, but professionally, and with this huge wealth potential upside. So let's quickly put this into practice before I hand over back to Andy. So the typical YC founder pitch that we hear from founders all the time that work with us. Okay, we're building AI for XYZ industry. We raised 1 million from so-and-so investor and we're growing really fast. We're looking for a founding engineer and we're offering 0.5% equity plus 150K base. Come join us. It's bland. It sounds like every other 100 plus pitches that we hear all the time from founders. It just doesn't have any oomph. So there's no mention of why the startup matters, what your core belief is. There's no sense of adventure. There's no mention of ownership or autonomy. So the whole thing is to appeal to what the engineers want. Going back to the slide before, what is the core desire of the engineer that you're talking to or someone else? So, for example, here's a good pitch. This is what we believe. We believe ABC, and we're looking for a founding engineer to help us with that. You'll have full ownership, autonomy, and the opportunity to get in early on an opportunity with huge upside potential, plus we're offering 5% equity or 0.5% equity and 150K base. Come join us. Can you see how there's more energy in that? You start with what you believe. You start with the why. You don't start with we're building so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. There's tons of people building lots of things. It starts with the why. It appeals to the desire for ownership and autonomy, and it makes the person feel that they are joining this adventure to be part of something bigger. Okay, so there's an even better way, and I'm going to hand over to Andy to take this part.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when you think about it, every startup, if you're in one of the hubs is looking to hire talent from San Francisco, New York, Boston. Obviously, there is a ton of incredible talent there. But at the same time, that is a very competitive market in terms of, there's only so many individuals, right, that have true that have the background, right, that are meet your certain criteria, have the educational background, have the like pedigree, that have worked at the type of companies that you want, have previous early stage startup experience that everybody's looking for, and really, if everybody is fighting for that very small finite piece of talent, you're taking time away from from actually building your business and spending too much time focusing on just the same engineers that every single other startup that looks just like you is also trying to attract. And so what we do at Recruitcha is we help a lot of companies, early stage startups that can identify exceptional talent across the entire globe. We work with individuals all across Latin America that have the same code quality, that are extremely fluent in English. They are working in the same time zone, and they are going to come to you at anywhere from a 50 to 70% reduction in cost.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of what Andy just spoke about, but the fundamental thing to understand here is that it's the same quality of engineer. The education standards and the education system in Latin America is very high. And if we just take a quick look here at some of these levels, let's take the Series A row, for example. You can see the cost difference between a mid-level engineer from the USA and from Latin America. So if you're a founder, think about this in terms of your runway. If you've already made one or two core hires that are in the city that you're in, and you have your core team, and now you want to extend your runway but keep shipping fast with high quality code, and you want to grow your team, going overseas to Latin America is a fantastic way to extend that runway but still keep your engineering standards really high. So this is the way to win, is to understand that global engineers are the same quality for less, and a great pitch, as we've covered, appealing to those core desires, plus an expanded talent pool is what is going to help you win. So here are some practical tips on how to run early stage hiring. Go for it, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, when you're still in the building phase, you want to be turning over every stone that you can, leveraging your own personal network, going to meeting people at hackathons, warm referrals, and of course, at a certain point, always leveraging external recruiting partners and agencies like Recruitcha, right, who have a vetted network of talent that they're consistently working with on a daily basis. Think about it like this: your job is to build an exceptional company. An agency's job is to build an exceptional network with fantastic talent. So that's what we do here at Recruitcha, is making sure that we have, consistently meeting with, 50 to 70 candidates on a weekly basis, right? To connect with and know the marketplace, know who's moving, who's looking for a new opportunity. At a Series A through D, obviously you're going to still look to be, leveraging all of those same things that we've already mentioned. But at that point, you're probably starting to hire in-house recruiters and building out your own talent acquisition team.
Cool. So let's talk about the next step. Let's assume that now, either through an agency like us or through a referral or your network, you've managed to find someone. What's the next step? How are you going to figure out if this person is a great fit for your company? So we're going to talk about running an effective work trial. This is one of the best ways that you can basically try before you buy. A common way that we've seen some of our clients do it is they might hire someone on a contract basis before turning this into a full-time position. But this is even before that step. We're talking about a very short work trial. So what are some of the things that you shouldn't do in a work trial? The first one is ambiguous expectations and a poor onboarding experience. You don't want to spend the first 4 hours of a 3-day work trial just trying to onboard the person. So when they come in, make sure that everything is set up. You want to have access to your GitHub setup, all the repos, whatever access they need. Make sure it's super quick and easy for them to onboard, and then they know exactly what they need to do. One of the things that we see is sometimes companies or founders have this really incorrect expectation that if someone has a full-time job, they can't do a 1-week work trial. You can keep it to 2 or 3 days. So make sure it's the correct amount of time that respects your candidate's time, and make it paid. Show the person that you respect them and that you understand that they are giving up, or they're committing their time to a company to work with you. So have clear expectations and a quick onboarding process. Don't make it too long, 2 or 3 days, and make sure it's paid. And also have some kind of element that shows what it's like outside of just the core work. So, have a team bonding experience, go for lunch, make sure you meet with them, make sure that you're really investing in this person from a cultural side so that you can vet that part of them too.
Yeah, and touching on the team collaboration, during this work trial, your goal of this work trial is to simulate what a real day to day is going to be like for them, right? And so you obviously want to evaluate the type of talent that they're bringing to the table, but at the same time, you want to show them what it's going to be like partnering with you, right? You're gonna be rubbing elbows with them, shipping code on a daily basis, and you want to be able to showcase what that's going to look like. Be available, have your Slack open, be able to connect with them, and make sure that you are giving them the access that they're going to have, when they ultimately join your organization.
100%. So we're getting towards the end. Let's talk about offers and closing. So the first thing is to understand your number going in. You don't want to catch yourself in a situation where you promise more than you can actually commit to. So make sure that you've done your homework, you know your numbers, and you know what you can commit to. The next thing is that time kills all deals. If this is a hot candidate, they are definitely getting offers from multiple other companies and other startups. So make sure that you're proactive about this. Follow up with that person. Don't let the deal or don't let the offer just sit around. Make sure that if you need to meet with them or get them on a phone call, that you do that. And the last thing, again, is to appeal to what they want most. Over this time of speaking with them, probably in the first round, plus the work trial, you've probably figured out what is the thing that they really want most. Maybe it's adventure. Maybe it's the sense of autonomy and ownership. Maybe it's the potential for wealth creation. Whatever that thing is, when it comes to the close, lean into that. If you get to the point of the conversation where there's a little bit of tension, make sure that you lean into that thing and back it up and say, hey, but you know what? I think I remember you saying you really wanted, that autonomy, right? Like at the job you have right now, you said you've got no autonomy. Everything is super slow with the shipping speed. Don't you want something better, something new, and position your startup as that thing? And if you can appeal to that, that can be something that can help you make the close. Awesome. So, Andy, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how we can help here at Recruitcha, right, is our goal. Our job on a daily basis is to provide you with top 5% of engineering talent, whether that's local in SF or SF New York or in any other major hub, or of course providing exceptional talent internationally. We have a complete bench of individuals across every country in Latin America that are currently working for U.S.-based companies that are experienced working for product-based companies, have startup industry experience, and are looking for the next opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah, these are a couple of the companies that we've worked with, and if you would like to get in touch with us, this is the QR code. I'll leave it up for a second for all these people who are with us in the live stream who want to take a quick screenshot of that or scan it. Otherwise, thank you so much. And we will be doing more of these. So for anyone who joined us, if you have any questions or you want to reach out to us, you can, again, use that QR code, otherwise recruitcha.com. Otherwise, you can find us on LinkedIn. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Awesome. Take care, folks.